Maria and welcome to SC Global News. From the new documentary exploring St. Peter's tomb hosted by Pratt to the release of Pope Leo XIV's first book on February 2026, we have many stories to cover. American actor Pratt is currently filming a documentary on the Vatican necropolis. Produced by Vatican Media, The Fabric of St. Peter and AF Films, the project is scheduled for release in 2026 to mark the 400th anniversary of the Basilica's inauguration and dedication. In the film, viewers will be taken on a journey that guides them toward the discovery of St. Peter's tomb. A new documentary filming is underway about the Vatican necropolis and the tomb of Apostle Peter. American actor Pratt will be guiding the viewers through the unique journey of faith, history, and archaeology. Produced by Vatican Media, The Fabric of St. Peter and AF Films, the project is set for release in 2026 to mark the 400th anniversary of the Basilica's inauguration and dedication. Pratt shared that it is an extraordinary honor to partner with the Holy Father and the Vatican on this project. St. Peter's story is central to the Christian faith, and he added that he is profoundly thankful for the trust and access that have allowed to portray his legacy on screen. The documentary is written by Andrea Torinelli with the help of Pietro Sander and will be directed by Spanish director Paula Ortiz. The project will be launched in 2026 on the 400th anniversary of the inauguration and dedication of St. Peter's Basilica. The Basilica's history is closely linked to the life of Peter, the Galilean fisherman whom Jesus appointed to lead the church and who was martyred on Vatican Hill in Rome in AD 64. From the earliest centuries, the site of his burial became a focal point of devotion and prayer, drawing many Christians who wished to be laid to rest near him. The documentary will lead the viewers through an exciting journey through time and exclusive images that will lead them to discover the tomb of St. Peter. With the help of historical and archaeological evidences, the viewers will discover the Apostle's burial place in the Vatican necropolis, officially announced in 1950 by Pope Pius XII. A decade later, he had ordered excavations to be carried out beneath the basilica. In 1968, after further study, Pope Paul VI declared the bones of St. Peter had been discovered. The relics of Peter, the Pope stated, have been identified in a manner we can regard as convincing. We have good reasons to believe that these few yet sacred mortal remains of Prince of the Apostles have been found. US President Donald Trump received the inaugural FIFA Peace Prize at the 2026 World Cup draw, recognized for his efforts to promote peace and unity globally. Gianni Infantino personally presented the award, praising Trump as a leader who cares about the people and has worked to bring nations together. Trump accepted the honor gratefully, calling it one of the greatest distinctions of his life and reaffirming his commitment to diplomacy and global cooperation.
Donald J. Trump was awarded the inaugural FIFA Peace Prize during the final draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Washington, D.C., recognizing his extraordinary efforts to promote global peace and unity. FIFA President Gianni Infantino presented Trump with a gold medal, a trophy shaped like hands holding the globe, and a certificate honoring his diplomatic achievements. The FIFA Peace Prize, newly established, celebrates leaders whose actions reduce conflict and unite nations. In his acceptance remarks, Trump called it one of the greatest honors of my life, highlighting his instrumental role in resolving international tensions, including in the Congo and between India and Pakistan. Under his leadership, 7 major global conflicts were successfully ended, a historic accomplishment that significantly advanced international stability. Supporters praised FIFA's decision, noting that it recognizes Trump's decades-long commitment to safeguarding lives and promoting harmony worldwide. The award underscores his legacy as a global statesman capable of uniting nations, preventing wars, and achieving results that world leaders have matched.
Across the US, multiple churches have crafted politically themed nativity scenes in protest of the immigration and custom enforcement's deportation actions. These displays, ranging from portraying Jesus with his hands zip-tied to suggesting the Holy Family would face deportation today, aim to promote progressive political viewpoints. Many churches in the US are creating politically motivated nativity scenes to protest immigration and customs enforcement's efforts to remove illegal immigrants. In Massachusetts, St. Susanna Catholic Church in Dedham replaced the traditional figure of Jesus in the manger with a sign implying that Jesus would be deported by ICE. The sign read, "ICE was here. The Holy Family is safe in the sanctuary of our church." The sign also urges people to contact LUES, a hotline that monitors ICE agent activity. Additionally, the parish runs a refugee resettlement collaborative which helps support refugee families as they settle into their new homes and start a new life in the country. According to Boston.com, the church has previously created similar displays, including a 2018 nativity scene in which baby Jesus was placed in a cage and the wise men stood behind the wall. The Lake Street Church of Evanston, Illinois, created a nativity scene depicting the infant Jesus in zip ties being detained by ICE. Joseph and Mary are shown wearing gas masks in reference to the tear gas used on ICE protesters. The church claims that the installation draws parallels with the Holy Family's refugee experience and contemporary ICE detentions. The Lake Street Church shared in a Facebook post that the installation reimagines the Nativity as a scene of forced family separation, drawing direct parallels between the Holy Family's refugee experience and contemporary immigration detention practices. The Holy Family were refugees, and this is not a political interpretation. This is the reality described in the stories our tradition has told and retold for millennia, the post stated. The pictures shared on social media have received mixed reaction, with many users criticizing them as blasphemous for promoting leftist agendas. CJ Doyle, executive director of the Catholic Action League of Massachusetts, described the sign as divisive, saying it was wrong, disrespectful, and detracted from the core message of Christmas. A vehicle plugged into crowd gathered for Christmas preparation at Sculpture Square in St. Anne, Guadalupe, killing at least 10 people and injuring many others as local prepared for holiday celebrations. Emergency services rushed in and the town's mayor activated a crisis management unit to support the victims, while investigators now probe whether the driver suffered a medical emergency.
A vehicle poured into a crowd gathered for Christmas preparations at Sculpture Square near the town hall and a church in St. Anne in the French overseas region of Guadeloupe, leaving at least 10 people dead and several others injured. Tragedy struck while locals were preparing for Christmas celebration. Eyewitnesses cited by Radio Carabels International said their driver may have suffered a medical emergency, causing him to lose control of the vehicle, claim not yet confirmed by authorities. Emergency responders, police, firefighters and medical teams rushed to the scene to aid the wounded. Town's mayor activated a crisis management unit to coordinate rescue efforts and support victims' families. At least 3 survivors remain in critical condition and investigations into the cause of the crash are underway. Last year, a similarly shocking incident occurred in Germany. On 20 December 2024 in the city of Magdeburg, a car drove into a crowded Christmas market, killing 6 people, including a 9-year-old, and injuring hundreds more. The suspect, a 50-year-old doctor from Saudi Arabia, identified as Taleb Al-Abdul Mohsin, was arrested at the scene. Authorities described it as a deliberate act, and the attack deeply shook public faith in festive season safety.
Pope Leo XIV met cardiology experts attending the Paris course on revascularization during the Jubilee of Hope at the Vatican, stressing that healing the heart requires scientific excellence rooted in compassion and ethical responsibility. He urged broader global cooperation, equitable access to treatments, and a renewed commitment to serving life.
Pope Leo XIV met cardiologists participating in the Paris course on revascularization on Friday at the Vatican during the Jubilee of Hope, Vatican News reported. The meeting focused on why their work matters, how it shapes patient care, and how global cooperation could strengthen cardiovascular treatment. Sources described the gathering as significant because the participants stood at the crossroads of science, compassion, and ethical responsibility. The Pope emphasized that medical practice gains meaning only when it is rooted in the service of life. According to Vatican News, he referred to Evangelium Vitae as a guiding source. The pontiff highlighted Christ's tenderness toward the sick and added that this served as the model for caring for vulnerable patients. He said the group sought to heal the heart, a phrase interpreted by observers as highlighting both the physical and symbolic nature of their mission. The Pope called for broader scientific cooperation. He urged greater dissemination of medical knowledge to ensure that advances in cardiovascular care remained accessible rather than confined to a privileged few. New treatments, he stressed, should stay within reach of the poor and marginalized. The address concluded with a blessing in which he entrusted their work to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and expressed hope that their efforts would continue to unite scientific excellence with human service.
A new JAMA report shows abortions in Texas have fallen sharply, over 18% since the Heartbeat Act began. The decline is strongest among teens, with researchers estimating more than 1,000 babies saved every month. More countries are also moving to ban abortion, widening Texas's sanctuary for the unborn map.
A comprehensive study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association has confirmed a significant and continuing decline in abortions in Texas following the implementation of the Texas Heartbeat Act in 2021. According to the pro-life statistician Dr. Michael New, writing for National Review, the law has resulted in more than 18% reduction in abortions over the past 4 years. Researchers noted that while the decline spans all age groups, the most dramatic drop occurred among Texans younger than 18 years of age. JAMA's data shows a 26.1% decrease in both in-state and out-of-state facility-based abortion among minors after the law took effect. Multiple studies have tracked the impact of Heartbeat Act since 2021. Early data from Society of Family Planning recorded 10,000 fewer abortions in just 2 months in 2022. That same year, Texas reported 0 elective legal abortions in August and only 3 procedures permitted for life-threatening emergencies. The Texas Department of Health and Human Services also documented substantial decreases throughout the year. Dr. New highlighted that at least 3 major studies reached the same conclusion. The law is saving more than 1,000 lives every month. The JAMA study drew data not only from Texas but also from 6 neighboring states, comparing abortion rates before and after law's implementation. It further reported decline across all women's age groups, a 19.6% drop among women aged 18 to 24 and a 17% decline among those aged 25 to 29. Meanwhile, Texas counties continue expanding protections for the unborn. On November 24, Howard County became the 14th U.S. county to ban abortion-related activities, including the trafficking and disposal of fetal remains. Earlier April 4th, Texas became America's 85th sanctuary city for preborn babies, while Lea County in New Mexico also adopted similar protections. Texas now maintains some of the strongest pro-life laws in the United States, prohibiting nearly all abortion except in cases where a mother faces a life-threatening medical condition. Pro-life leaders continue to argue that intentionally ending a preborn life is never medically necessary. Nationally, the debate over chemical abortion pills remains intense. The FDA recently approved a generic version of mifepristone, promoting renewed concern among pro-lifers. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. previously stated he was reviewing his pill safety, raising hopes among pro-life groups for strict regulations. In related developments, a U.S. appeal court ruling this week upheld a decision blocking New York's Attorney General from penalizing crisis pregnancy centers that promote progesterone treatment to reverse chemical abortions. The decision is viewed as a victory for pro-life advocates defending access to abortion pill reversal information.
Canada's proposed Bill C9 may classify certain Bible, Quran and Torah verses as hate speech if they are viewed as discriminatory. Faith leaders and civil rights groups warn this could criminalize religious expression. The government faces growing pressure to clarify protections for free speech and sacred scriptures.
A major controversy is erupting in Canada after a government insider revealed that the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party plans to remove religious exemption from the country's hate speech laws. According to the report published by the National Post, the Liberals and the Bloc Québécois have agreed to amend Bill C9, the Combating Hate Act, in a way that would allow Canadians to be punished for quoting scripture, including passages from the Bible, Quran or Torah. The amendments targets the long-standing religious exemption in the criminal code, which has always protected people who cite sacred texts in good faith. If removed, quoting verses that condemn homosexuality, abortion, or LGBT ideology could be treated as a criminal offense. Critics, including constitutional experts, say the bill already gives the government power to police people's feelings and now goes even further, threatening freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to preach from scripture. The backlash intensified after Liberal MP Mark Miller recently declared that the parts of the Bible are hateful and suggested prosecutors should be allowed to press charges against those who read such verses publicly. His remarks were condemned by Christian leaders and conservative politicians nationwide. Alberta MLA Dan Williams called the move an act on faith, saying it portrays Christians and Jews as source of hatred rather than people of belief and conscience. In response, conservatives have launched a national petition urging the federal government to protect religious freedom and uphold Canadians' right to read and share sacred texts without fear of prosecution. Faith groups across the country are now calling Christians to pray for wisdom, justice, and protection of religious liberty in Canada.
Pope Leo XIV will publish his first book, Peace Be With You, on February 2026, sharing his vision for global unity and reconciliation. The collection features his most important addresses since his election as the first North American Pope. Publisher HarperOne says the book will be released worldwide in English and Spanish.
Pope Leo XIV's first full-length book, Peace Be With You, My Words to the Church and to the World, will be released globally on February 24, 2026, offering his comprehensive vision for peace, unity, and reconciliation in a divided world. The announcement came through a December 4 press release from HarperOne, the publisher that had handled major works by St. John Paul II and Pope Francis. The book draws from Pope Leo XIV's homilies, speeches, and public addresses delivered since his historic election on May 8, 2025, when he became the first North American Pope in history. The title echoes the first words spoken by the risen Christ, and significantly they were also Pope Leo XIV's first word to the world from the central loggia of St. Peter's Basilica, Peace be with you. In the speech, the Holy Father expressed his desire and this greeting of peace might fill the homes, families, nations, and the entire global community. According to the publisher, the collected text highlighted the Pope's core priorities, the primacy of God, communion with the Church, and renewed global commitment to peacemaking. Pope Leo XIV has frequently spoken about humility in leadership, noting, to disappear so that Christ remains, to make himself small, so that he may be known and glorified. HarperOne described the upcoming book as a powerful invitation for all people, regardless of nation, culture, or background, to embrace reconciliation and hope. With his unique North American perspective and emphasis on unity, Pope Leo XIV's reflections are expected to resonate far beyond the Catholic Church.
That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.